Coming up, video testimony soon to be admissible in court cases. It's part of the AG office's anti-crime measures. That Straw Market Authority bill passed last night. Tonight, we hear from the people who it will impact the most, straw vendors. Debate didn't proceed without some political chiding. Prime Minister Ingram tells Parliament the F&M will win the Bamboo Town seat, and if not, then the PLP will. And have you added your name to the new voters register as yet? The window is closing. Authorities say stop procrastinating. It's Tuesday, October 11th. Stay right where you are. The Bahamas Tonight starts right now.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
It's great to have you along this Tuesday. I'm Shanique Miller. This is the Bahamas Tonight National Report. Debate on those much-anticipated crime bills begins in the House of Assembly tomorrow, but efforts to quell the murder rate and violent crime happening outside Parliament as well. Today, Attorney General John Delaney announced measures in an anti-crime package that will protect victims, witnesses, and vulnerable people in society like children. Fern Carey picks up the story.
The anti-crime legislation introduced to Parliament last week addressed the issue of bail, sentencing of murder offences, and the criminal justice procedure. Revision of the firearm, dangerous drugs, and sexual offences penalties are also among other measures being proposed. The Department of Public Prosecutions and the Law Reform Commission played a pivotal role in crafting those bills. And Attorney General John Delaney says provisions are also being made to protect victims, witnesses, and the vulnerable in our society.
A victim may be heard at sentencing, and a definition of victim is provided for that include loved ones where the person harmed is dead or incapacitated. Also, the safety of a victim is to be a primary consideration in relation to a bail application for a person charged with a serious offense.
It's anticipated that once victims have their say during sentencing, magistrates will get a better idea of how the crime impacted them, thus enabling judges to hand down a sentence that better fits the crime.
It is precisely there to give further context and to enable the magistrate to better determine which sentence might be appropriate. I should also point out that the Penal Code provides that a court can order compensation to victims. Given this introduction of this new ability to hear from victims.
And with a young child recorded as the 104th murder victim for the year, amendments are also expected to be made to the Evidence Act in order to protect vulnerable persons in society, like children.
It is proposed by an amendment to the Evidence Act that there can be testimony of children by video, by taped evidence. And then finally, in terms of what I wish to draw to your attention in the proposed bills, is that witness anonymity in extreme cases where there is possible harm to the witness, in special cases, as last practical resort, there is to be the non-disclosure of a witness identity.
In addition to the Witness Protection Program, provisions will also be made to ensure that witnesses are protected after trial. Now, these new measures won't just strengthen the legal system, but hopefully they'll make them much more effective moving forward. Fern Carey, ZNS News.
We can expect more effective operations from the Department of Public Prosecutions, and that's because 7 new attorneys joined the department this week. The new staff members include a senior counsel and 6 assistant counsels. According to Attorney General Delaney, the junior ranks of prosecutors is also being supplemented with 9 attorneys from the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
These additional manpower resources, human resources, will now enable the department to better staff the specialized practice groups that I spoke of, and there are several practice groups. Without the breadth of manpower, we cannot give it the full emphasis that is necessary. We believe that we will now be better able to do just that. We're better able to advise police during early stages of investigations in serious matters. We are better able to implement criminal case management in the review of files for prosecution.
Meantime, Director of Public Prosecutions Vanette Graham-Allen noted that prosecutors are actively involved in the investigation of serious and complex cases with the view of improving the evidence gathered, including the case of Marco Archer.
Participation from the investigative stage began, as Attorney General told you, from January 2011. And we focus mainly on four areas of CDU: homicide, sexual offense unit, fraud, and armed robbery. You will not see us on a scene of a crime. That is not our responsibility, because we do not operate like the prosecutors in the states. But what we do is the investigators, they make contact with us from the report is made, and we give guidance.
We'll take a good look at these men. Who appeared in court today, are charged with stealing thousands of dollars worth of metal pipes. They are 26-year-old Mark Campbell and 38-year-old Nicolo Cartwright. Both were granted bail after pleading not guilty to stealing some $60,000 worth of metal pipes from the Water and Sewage Corporation last Friday. Officers from the Western Division of the Royal Bahamas Defense Police Force arrested the men sometime around 10:15 Saturday morning after they reportedly found them digging Water and Sewage Corporation pipes from well fields located just off Frank Watson Boulevard in southwestern New Providence. In court, Campbell, a resident of Refuge Court off Cowpen Road and Dignity Garden resident Nicolo Cartwright, pleaded not guilty to the stealing charge. They also denied they dishonestly received the metal pipes. They were granted $15,000 bail each with one surety. Cartwright and Campbell returned to court January 10th next year. A new state-of-the-art building, but does that also mean new rules and new regulations? Well, yes. When opened, the recently completed $12 million straw market is expected to represent the best of us, as it is further evidence of the rebirth of the city of Nassau. This from Prime Minister Ingram, who wrapped up debate on the Straw Market Authority bill last night. We get the story from Ianthea Smith.
Government officials say it's what's been needed for years if the Bahamas is to truly have a properly functioning native market and craft center. And with House members Monday night passing the Straw Market Authority regulations bill, the unorganized, mismanaged downtown market will be a thing of the past.
The straw market has not always been organized or managed, and its removal from Bay Street has been considered by government over and over again. For the last 30+ years, governments, whether it was the PLP or ourselves, have had consideration as to whether or not we should put the market back on Bay Street or someplace else. Someplace else, from Fort Charlotte to Jumbe Village, Prince George Wharf. But always we came back to this final determination that these craftspeople are rightly situated in the heart of our city on Bay Street at the western entrance to downtown Nassau.
Wrapping up Monday night's debate on the bill, Prime Minister Hubert Ingram says with its prime location, plans on tap to revitalize the city center, and the massive need for more order and control in the market, establishing a body to lay down the law and deal with the day-to-day operations in the market was long overdue. Some 500 vendors and 14 wood carvers are set to take up their post in the new straw market.
I find it troubling that some people have expressed the view that putting in place and promoting good old traditional Bahamian values and high standards for the operation of the market is offensive. There's nothing offensive about requiring that those who will benefit from the market be required to take pride in the facility, in themselves, and in their work. This is the intent and purpose of the regulations proposed for adoption.
At the end of the day, the Prime Minister says it's all about having national pride, being accountable, and adhering to international best practices in the running of public enterprises such as the new straw market. He offered vendors this advice.
The place is owned by the government of the Bahamas. All stall holders are licensees of the state of the Bahamas through its authority. No one owns any stall. You have a permit to use a stall, and you have conditions attached to the usage of that stall. And provided you comply with the terms of that permit, you will continue to be able to use that stall. No, the stall does not belong to you. No, it is not something that you can transfer to your son and your daughter and anybody you see fit. No, it's not like the House of Assembly where some people think they can get elected and then have their son or their daughter come after them. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not a dynasty. It is a public facility that you are leasing a facility in, for which you are paying far, far, far below market rate for.
I am Thea Smith, ZNS News.
Now, before the bill was passed, parliamentarians highlighted the need for such a bill, which includes regulations for straw vendors, especially those who will make the new multi-million-dollar market their new home. Wrapping up debate for the opposition was Progressive Liberal Party leader Perry Christie, who said that with the formation of a straw market authority, the country must push toward further development of the industry.
The fact of the matter is this, that we have demonstrated the capacity, and we see it in our Junction, we see it in our craft work, we see it at the Welcome Center, we see it on Bay Street with people. We have demonstrated the capacity to make these things and for people to be able to purchase them. And so what separates us now from making this major push to get us in the right direction, where we are able to, as the Spanish Wells fellas say, we build the boats, we fish, we process the fish, we export the fish, to add more linkages in the production cycle to the Bahamas, so that in fact we could retain more money in our country and employ more people in the process.
Culture Minister Charles Maynard addressed the issue of intellectual property. It is alleged that some vendors recreate cartoon images like SpongeBob and Dora the Explorer, all of which are copywritten on straw products without permission.
At one point, the Havens have to come to grips with the reality. Some things are illegal. Just because you could do it and nobody never stop you from doing it, don't make it not illegal. We don't want to become a country, let me say this different. We don't want to officially become a country of pirates.
Maynard added that the bill creates a win-win situation for vendors and artisans, as only Bahamian-made goods will be sold at the market. Now, just hours following the bill's passing, those who will be directly impacted are speaking out. Straw vendors and artisans who spoke with us say they support the bill. Most say they eagerly look forward to moving into the new market, and if the rent is $5 is what required, well, they'll do just that.
What you got to look at, we going in a brand new building that costs the taxpayer, it's not the government. The taxpayer money the building market. So at $5 a day is reasonable. I mean, some of us like that was cheaper, you understand? But at $35, I ain't see there's a problem, because they got to take care of the whole building.
Well, I think that is not too bad.
That's like $5 a day.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Why? Because the market is a new building. It costs money to build that there. And we cannot look to get everything free. You understand me? It wouldn't be right. That's a good building there.
$5 a day, that wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't mind paying $5 a day. Although I don't make it, but still, I'll pay the $5 a day.
The $5 a day isn't bad for a time like this, right? Like how things went up. So the $5 a day. But what I look at is the $35 a week it add up to. And when it add up to $35 a week, some months carry 5 weeks. So that means the government's still robbing us a week. So why not charge us the $35 for the month one time?
Now, it's been reported that all of these persons occupying the new market will also be required to wear uniform. Here's what the vendors had to say about that idea.
Maybe one for straw vendors. As a wood carver, I carve in wood stay in my pants. Now, if they're willing to buy the pants for me to put on, and to shade them, I have no problem with wearing them.
The suggestion about the uniform came in because you have a lot of the younger vendors, not the older ones, the younger ones. They tend to wear a lot of skimpy stuff. So it's too appealing to the tourists. I agree with that.